For more on all this, let's bring in a star panel. We have David Webb, host of the David Webb Show, and Fox News contributor Paul Mauro, former NYPD inspector, attorney, and also a Fox News contributor. And there's Gianno Caldwell, Fox News political analyst and founder of the Caldwell Institute for Public Safety. And Gianno, we should mention you did work with Nathan Hoffman in L.A. on his campaign, so we are upfront about that. I want to start with you, though, Gianno, because people, of course, are talking a lot about inflation and the cost of inflation and how that might have cost Harris the election here. But you know all too well the costs of the demise of law and order in many of our cities. You lost your brother there to a violent act. And I'm just wondering how much you think it's hard to disassociate yourself in any way from that horrible event that happened to you and your family. But do you think, objectively speaking, that played a big role in this election?
I think there's no question about it. And as you mentioned, I started the Caldwell Institute for Public Safety after my brother was murdered in Chicago. And we got involved in this George Gascon race, as we know that these progressive prosecutors funded by George Soros, who are enacting all this chaos we're seeing across the country, need to be stopped. So I definitely went all in on Nathan Hoffman. We did an ad buy for his campaign that ran throughout the county up until Election Day. And yes, for Kamala Harris, crime has been a big issue. You keep in mind, this is somebody who's ignored it, someone who said that there was not a crime crisis in this country. That's a lie. We saw that during the debate when Donald Trump debated Kamala Harris, and the reporter there tried to say that it wasn't true, and the FBI had to bring up the new data on this issue. It is an issue that impacts every American, and thankfully, they saw the signs and they decided that we needed to put Donald Trump in office to stop this chaos that's been going on throughout this country.
Well, we don't need the stats. We feel it. I've lived in New York for 40 years. I know it's as bad now. It's at least as bad as it was in the 1980s, and it may be even worse when you consider all the crazy folks out in the street. David, the cost of woke policies is beginning to edge into the political numbers that we saw coming out of the election. We took three cities, Chicago, New York, L.A., and you're now a resident of Miami, so we'll talk about that as well. But in Chicago, 2016, 21% of the folks were voting Republican, very small. In 2020, a little bit more, 24%. In 2024, this last election this week, it was 29.8%, almost 30%. Still way below the majority, but it is edging up. Do you think it'll catch up to the Democrats and we'll see real change in these cities?
Well, it has been catching up. Now it's more aware and more conscious. To your point about feeling it, you've lived in New York City for 40 years. I've been in the city for 40 years, not always living here. I love New York, but look what's happened. In Chicago and these other cities, Donald Trump was able to capture the reality that people had been living with without a voice. The Democrats didn't give him a voice. Christian didn't have a voice, and to Gianno's point about his brother, and the follow-on wasn't there. Then all of a sudden you have the replacement of interest. Brandon Johnson, illegal aliens, telling people in the wards to, segregate areas to put up illegal aliens while they're not giving those services to underserved Americans, regardless of color. This all came together in this election. People vote their interests, and the cost was not just monetarily. The cost was that feeling that I'm not safe, I'm not getting something, I'm working hard, hey, I'm trying to survive, I've got too much month at the end of money. And you saw this in Miami-Dade County, a remarkable swing as well.
That turned over all the way to Republicans.
It turned over.
And that hasn't happened in about 30 years, right?
Yeah, but what's there? You have a left-wing mayor in Daniel Levine Cava, but then you have Frederica Wilson in Liberty City. You have areas literally left on their own without services. Ben Carson was the last one to go in there. I was there with him very same day when he was in the Trump administration, and he did something to help with his programs. Frederica walked away.
Paul, even if we try to defend ourselves, which we shouldn't have to do in a civilized society, that's why you have law and order. That's why you have law enforcement. But they've been so handcuffed that people are taking the law into their own hands. And this Penny trial, where there was a crazy guy in a subway, he was definitely threatened. According to some of the witnesses, he was threatening the people on the train. He was pulled down, chokehold by Penny, a former Marine. Tragically, the guy was killed. But again, it's this. we'll see how it all works out in court. It is a tragedy that a guy was killed, but the bottom line is it shouldn't have happened. That's why we have law enforcement, but they're not allowed to do anything about it because of all of these woke laws.
That's right. And, you know, this case actually is a confluence of all the issues that we're talking about. And let's review the facts here. It's very, very sad that Jordan Neely is dead. Didn't have to die. And that's really the bottom line here. Also, Daniel Penny shouldn't have to pay for it. Why? Neely was a predicate felon. He'd had numerous arrests regarding stuff like this. He was out on a felony arrest for having randomly punched an old woman on the subway. But here's the real salient fact. He was under mandatory mental health treatment, mandatory, and he just walked away from it. All the homeless advocates are always on about, no, you can't incarcerate these people.
It can't be mandatory if you can walk away from it.
Precisely.
I mean, that's the point. It is, people are living in a fantasy. The people who are pushing these woke policies are living in a fantasy world. It's a fantasy to think that you won't have theft if you legalize theft by, you know, if you steal less than $1,000 a day or whatever, or that you can live you can commit a horribly violent crime and have it downsized to a misdemeanor and then let out.
Which is routine in this city, but the homeless industrial complex in this city, which is large, does not want to see their rice bowl cracked into here. And as a result, every time you try to come up with programs where you have real mandatory treatment for somebody like Jordan Neely, who would still be alive were it not for those programs.
Gianno, I'm holding myself back, but I got to ask you a tough question. If it had not been for these woke policies, do you think your brother would still be alive?
Absolutely, 100%.
Man.
You got to keep in mind, this is a mindset that isn't just policy. The criminals oftentimes know the laws and the policies better than everyday Americans because they got to figure out how can they get around them. And in the city of Chicago, the prosecutorial rate is low. The police aren't oftentimes getting these criminals because there's so much crime out there. They need 2,000 police detectives to keep up with the current murder load. This is insane. And had we had somebody in there that was a responsible prosecutor, somebody that was even in there previously, Anita Alvarez, she was a Democrat. And they complained about her being tough on crime. And then they allowed the wavy path for people like Kim Foxx, who really ruined the city of Chicago, along with a mayor by the name of Brandon Johnson, who's leading to his decline right now, and Lori Lightfoot, who was in before her. These policies are causing people to die on a daily basis in the city of Chicago. That's why Donald Trump's election was so important for millions of people across the country, because we need law and order and we need a president in office who actually cares about the people.
David, you talked about migrant crime before, and Guy Benson, I think do we have this soundbite, producers, from Guy? Guy Benson was on earlier. He was on Outnumbered, and he talked about this with regard to the deportations, at least for the criminal illegal migrant, not necessarily a whole net for every single illegal, but at least the criminals. Let me just play that and get your reaction. Roll it.
Some of these deep blue states look disturbingly purple to a lot of the Democrats right now because I think of issues like this and law and order and prioritizing illegal immigrant criminals for deportation is probably an 80% issue in this country. And if the Democrats really want to set themselves up as the resistance to that, good luck. They're going to have more losses coming if that's their posture.
Can you imagine them being against that? I mean, they've done crazy things before. Have they finally learned that that's not going to get them reelected?
Sadly, no, they haven't. They may have lost this election, a resounding rejection across the country of so many leftist policies, but they've doubled down already. They have teams out there. They've gone back to the rhetoric and the actions. The lawsuits on Mark Elias, he has 214 lawsuits that he's proud of. I get these emails daily. They've got all the other actors. The Tides Foundation is out there. All of these groups. It's all about deconstructing and changing society and culture.
Well, they got a wake-up call this week. But finally, Paul, sanctuary cities are still in effect in New York and Boston, a lot of cities around the country. And they don't allow, the sanctuary city policies don't allow the local cops to work with ICE to deport people, particularly the criminal element who are here illegally. Very quickly, Do you think that has to change? Will it change? Can it change?
I think it does have to change, and I think it can. I don't think it's constitutional. There's going to be a big court battle over it. Donald Trump has said he's going to go at it. Expect him to go at it hard. It's going to be a hard fight. I think he can beat that, and here's why people are behind it. These people who are for sanctuary cities, they're the loudest voices, but they're not the most commonplace voice. They're not the majority, as Guy Benson said. It's a winning issue. We should do it.
Great discussion, gentlemen. Thank you. David Webb, Gianno Caldwell, Paul Mauro. Great stuff. Appreciate you being here. Coming